What's going on, my Photo Booth family? Today is another episode of the Photo Booth 101 University podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about photo booth hacks, whether that is a hack to get leads, hacks that we do when we're setting up, just hacks in general to kind of get your business and skyrocket it. Everything is basically set up here to make you guys succeed. So that's what we're going to talk about. You guys want to take this one? A hack that comes to mind?
One of the things that has saved me a lot. I have the party booth one that you sell, and one thing that I've exactly that one. One thing that I've learned to do is how to transport it kind of half already done, so I don't have to set up the whole thing there. So I just have the tower, and I put my ring light and the photo booth, the iPad separately. So when I get there, it literally takes me like no more than 7 minutes now that I'm getting pretty good at it, at setting everything up. And if it's a drop off, it's great. So, um,
That's so funny. Sorry to interrupt. I'm not even like this isn't planned, you guys. We also do that for the digi booth. You see
mhm.
how the base is on it, and then the bag. So you're
Yeah,
you're pretty much doing the same thing, right?
exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
And that's what I do. I have the DigiBooth and I do the same thing. I have the head set up. I have the body set up, and then the head I just put on at the event. I just set it up right there an hour before. I just tighten it up.
Love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for me, a hack that I want to talk about is a hack that we use often, and it's to get leads and to get bookings. Because to me, that's like the most important part about business, right? Is cash flow money. It's Facebook groups. I've even made a video on my channel about this before. Don't rely on this, everyone. And even for you guys, like if you're going to do it, like I wouldn't recommend that to be your bread and butter way to get leads. But if it's like a last minute thing, you could go on Facebook, go to the groups, type in your city, join all those groups. And who knows, on a Thursday night, if you have Saturday open or you have a last minute cancellation, go to the groups and say, hey, we had a cancellation, willing to give someone 40% off a rental if you have a party this weekend. You'll be surprised about the feedback. We'll do this from time to time. But that's just like one little hack that we do. Do you guys have any like hacks on getting leads or things that you've done that you would consider not like mainstream?
Yeah. Uh, it's not really a hack, I guess. It just takes work. But what's worked for me is just hitting up some DJs or some venues on your Instagram. I drafted like a whole like a sheet, and I just like copy and paste it, and then just adjust it how I need to. But that's brought me some links. Like right now, I'm linking up with a DJ Oriza, I think is his name.
Shout
Either
out,
way,
shout out.
yeah, exactly. Shout out to him. He's a really good DJ, and he gets a lot of events. I talked to some of employees because he has employees now working for him, and he has like three DJs working under him. And just linking up with a DJ or a venue is really helpful. So don't look at them as competition, because he also rents other stuff that I rent. But look at it as a partnership. So just
Yeah.
reaching out to other DJs and venues.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was gonna say like what most people would consider other photo booth companies competition. And that is the most craziest thing to me because you can reach out to other companies, right? And like Hans has done events for us before.
Mhm.
And if I had that mindset, like my company is the only one that matters, why would I even be friends with other companies? That's like a terrible mindset. So I think a big hack would be, and Tyler, you've done this, not only reach out to other photo booth companies, but to maybe a person that's doing 360. If you don't have a 360 booth, you don't want to do it, guess what? It'll benefit you guys to have someone that does it. So let's just say I get a lead. I don't have a 360 booth, but I know Tyler does. I
Mhm.
just get the information from the client. They want the rental for 2 weeks from now. They want the 360. Here's the price we give them or their budget. I go to Tyler. I ask him if he's free. We work out a deal. Maybe I get $50 to $100. Then everyone wins. That to me, that's a hack. That's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
that's not
You know,
something
you
I'm
get
talking about.
yeah, you're getting a commission off of it. And it also makes your company look good because even though you don't offer it personally and you're not making the bread and butter off of it, all the money off the profit off of it, you're still making something. And on top of that, you're gonna have clientele come back and say, oh, that business, Photo Booth 101 or TKR events, they have that. They have 360, they offer it or whatever. Even though you personally don't, at least you're giving out a service which makes your company look good. It possibly could get you even a review.
Yeah. And that's called white labeling. I know a lot of people in the group chat don't know what that means. Basically, it's just
Yeah.
what you said. Someone does an event under your business name. They're almost like one day employees, right?
Yeah.
And it's important to make sure the person that's working your event, that's white labeling for you, make sure that they're not handing out business cards. You have to communicate that. You're saying, this is my lead. You're doing it. So no business cards, no on the template, no company info. If anything, you can add yours. Because again, at the end of the day, you guys, people sleep on the value of one lead. Like one event could literally in the future, I always try to think big picture. So I know for sure one event can lead that can be $20,000, $30,000 in my lifespan, right? That one client could be like, yeah, we have parties every single month, every other month, and you never
And
know.
they're paying you every single month.
Absolutely.
Long term. How do you say long term bookings? You know what I mean?
Yep. And then this is an alley-oop for you, Hans, man. I think it's a complete hack on what you do with your mechanical bull business, how you piggyback off of the bulls and you're able to kind of, spread the word about your rental business. How's that been and how's that worked for you?
It's great. I think we were talking about it before we started the podcast that I'm talking to a church right now that wants to book both. They inquired about my mechanical bull, and I was just like, I always just throw it in there. I don't force them. I was just like, just in case you're looking for other things, like this is what we offer, blah 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 blah. Blah. And they're like, oh, you have photo booths? Like, we're looking for that. Like, can you give us a package? I'm like, absolutely. Like, give you some dollars off, not a lot. I don't shave off a lot, but like, I do give them a discount if they book both. So, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do pretty much the same thing when I do balloons or anything like that outside the photo booth. I always throw in the photo booth. Now I'll start pitching. Hey, do you guys need decorations? You guys need this. You guys need that. I always try my best to throw out everything that I have. So that's more money in your pocket. And like I said, even if I don't have it, I'll find someone who has it. And we could white label it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I was gonna go right now. For those listening, and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't have mechanical bulls, or I don't have like balloon gardening or whatever." Find someone that does. Find someone that does. Get their info. That's what I've done with that DJ. Like I've passed his number around when people are like, "Hey, do you recommend a DJ or whatever?" It's like, yeah, if you book us both, try to make it sound like you're doing it as a package, but know that DJ is working with you. And so they're like, oh damn, like you offer a lot of things, and behind the scenes you're moving things, you're making it work. So
Yep.
link up with
I
people.
I think one more hack that I want to throw out there is have your templates pre-made. A lot of your templates. I feel like if you go on Canva, you could like pre-make a bunch of your templates, especially like holiday ones, Disney themed ones and stuff like that. Just pre-make your templates, obviously without the name because you don't know what the name of the event is going to be. But me and my wife lately have been just pre-making a ton of templates. Like we'll have one with roses, we'll have another one with flowers, we'll have another one with I don't know, with stars, one with lights, we'll just pre-make a bunch of templates. So then when the customer says, hey, I'm looking for something like this, I'll, have something that's similar to that. So lately it's been actually helping me the last few events I've been doing is
Love
just
it.
pre your templates and just saving them in a file somewhere on
Yeah,
your
it's good
computer.
practice too.
And it's great practice. Yeah. For someone who doesn't know how to do Canva. I was one of them. I hated doing Canva when I first started doing the photo booth business. I was not a fan. Ask Hans. I paid Hans to do it a few times. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. And I just said, okay, well, this is something I have to do. So I just kept practicing, and I think I'm great at it at this point. So
Love it. So I got a hack here. This is something I'm really proud of. I don't think any other photo booth companies do this. It's the upgrades, right? Obviously you have, the red carpet that could be an upgrade, or if you run your business like me, right? Everything is an upgrade. Like the backdrop is an upgrade. We bring all of the upgrades with us still, even though the client has told us like this is what they want. And then when we show up, we offer it at a discount. So and then you'll be surprised, man. The rate's like 40% is where I get them to upgrade something that they didn't originally want, because maybe during the planning of the photo booth, the budget was tight, but you never know. Maybe someone shows up or someone's there that has money, and maybe they get it. So we'll bring the poles with the carpet, and we charge $150 to add that. We call it the red carpet experience. Most people don't get it, right? Maybe 20% clients get it, but we still bring it. And when we show up, I'm like, well, we have it here. No one rented it. So if you want it, what I can do is give you 50% off, and it's only $75. And then when I say that, they're like, oh, okay, all right, we'll add it. So I'm just getting more money. And there's been times too, right, where they don't want to pay for the boomerang, the gift, the video feature, the mom, right? If it's at a quinceañera, what I do is when I show up to set up, and before we leave, if the girl's there with her mom, I say, "Can you guys both come here? I just want to show you the booth. I have all of them up already." So I'm saying, I know you guys didn't want this, but let me just show you, because sometimes it's not really clear what it is. And then I'll show them the boomerang. I'll show them the GIF. I'll show them the video. Then the daughter's there looking at her mom like, "Yeah, mom, like, get this." And then they'll get it. Like
Yeah, she's
nine
not
out of
going to say
10.
no to her daughter on her birthday, especially her sweet 16. At that point,
Yeah,
it's like kind of like you're luring them in. You're like, okay, like, I'm bringing the daughter in, the one who knows technology more. She's gonna like that. She's, oh, my friends are gonna love this. The mom's not gonna say no. So that's a great pull in, to grab
sure.
a last minute, at least at an extra $75. And you do that, 4 or 5 times a month. That adds up.
Yeah, well, we call that, my wife and I, we have a thing called upgrade lunch. Is when we drop off the booth, and if we get those upgrades, we'll use that money. We'll be like, all right, well, looks like we're eating good today, just like a little joke. And this is something I do. Like, she feels uncomfortable upselling, sometimes, because like it's not like a dirty sales tactic, but you are kind of using like emotions, like strings. And I'm okay with that, because I know at the end of the day, like, $75 isn't a lot of money to get the boomerang GIF and video feature. So it's not like we're charging an arm and a leg for that.
Yeah, you're not a
Mhm.
car salesman. I know a car
Yeah,
salesman
man.
does the same shit,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
like,
but back to what you just said. We're not car salesmen, but at the end of the day, when you're a business owner and you're owning, a photo booth business, you're the finance person, you're the person who answers the phone calls, you're the one who makes the templates, you're the marketing guy, and last but not least, you're the salesman. So, well, I understand what Drew's saying. He had to be the salesman at that point. He had to play salesman
That's the
and do
most
what he
important. That's the most important role, you guys. It's it's the
being the
sales.
salesman.
Sales and marketing in this business are almost the same. The way
Mhm.
you're marketing is kind of how is your sales pitch. So, um, and let me see what else. What other hacks are there? As far as like getting more leads, getting more money. Do you guys have any that come up to your head? 'Cause I could talk about this all day. I have so many hacks. What
Go
do you
ahead,
guys?
Hans.
uh, shoot. I mean, I think we talked about it in another episode, but one hack I know that one of those people that use the offer up thing and you get your things taken down.
Oh, that's a
Cycle
huge
them
hack.
through, man. Yeah, that's I found that out on accident. I just was like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna say that it's sold out and then just post another one. And then it seems to like stick instead of just leaving your old one and then trying to put another one, it's gonna get taken down. So what I do is take out the old one and put the new one, and it stays at the top. So like when people are looking for photos or whatever, you stay at the top. I know OfferUp doesn't like that, so use it at your own discretion, but that's
Yeah.
what I
So for those that don't know, OfferUp is like an app you guys can get on your phone, and it's a marketplace for tangible items, not for services, right? So if you're looking for let's just say a watch, you'd go type in watch. But some people use OfferUp to look for services. So what you could do is you can make a posting, like Han said, not just on OfferUp, but Facebook Marketplace. It's the same thing. And then you basically have, like Han said, it's super effective, but not as effective as it used to be. But it works. That's a hack for sure. Craigslist, the same thing. You can post something for sale. You could post a photo booth service for sale, but just be prepared. Some people don't understand, and they think that you're selling your photo booth setup for some people will put $200 on the ad, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll buy this," and it's like, no, 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 no. Like, it's worth more than $200. But
Yeah, it's for sale. Another thing that I like, I don't know if I would say it's a hack or more of just something to help your business is try to have double of everything. I've ran into situations where I've needed, where a wire went loose or something's bad happened and I had to replace the wire or something like that, like, the plug-in. So I always have two of everything. I even have like I bring even double of the props to my event. I'll leave it in my car just in case someone breaks a few props or some gets stolen and now my prop table's empty. I'll just throw more on there, deal with the situation later. So I always try to have two of everything. And I actually, thank God I did this. So when I did the Chase event a few weeks ago, and this was again, back to the white labeling thing, this was a white label event. And, I was doing it under someone who's actually in the Photo Booth 101 group. So Eduardo, shout out to you. And something told me, and I guess this was like some type of OG type of thing in my head that, some type of like, it wasn't a rookie mistake. I was like, wow, I can't believe I did this. I decided to bring my LED inflatable. Something told me to either bring my backdrop or bring my LED inflatable. I was only supposed to bring just the photo booth and my prop table, and that was it. Um, I brought the LED inflatable. I got to the event. It was in New York, and the first thing that Eduardo told me was the original backdrop that the Chase was going to use for me. They're using it for the stage now, so now you don't have a backdrop. And I was like, he asked me if I had the green screen backdrop, and I'm like, I didn't prepare one of those, but luckily for me, I brought the LED inflatable, and it helped. And obviously, I had to charge an upgrade, but it was worth it. I brought it. Something just told me deep down inside that bring this. I wasn't going to, but I ended up bringing it, so it's definitely a lifesaver. So always bring all your stuff with you, because you never know when you're gonna might need it. And especially if you have two of everything, bring it all. Bring all of it.
Tyler, that is amazing, bro. That's amazing. It's almost weird how that works out. Like that, you never had that feeling, right? And before any other events.
No, I never did, and that's what I'm saying. I always bring double of everything, just in case, and I always bring like an extra backdrop or something like that. But like something this time, I knew I wasn't getting paid for a backdrop. I knew it was just photo booth and prop table, and then I was doing balloons. So I was more focused on the balloons, honestly, because the photo booth, I'm so used to doing it. It's like second nature now. I set it up like I can set it up with my eyes closed now at this point. But right before I got in the U-Haul truck, something told me bring either the backdrop or the LED inflatable. And I was like, and I kept telling myself, no, like, no, I don't need this. Why am I gonna add more work to my stuff today? Yeah. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna bring it. And the minute I got there, he's like, yeah, we don't have a backdrop for you no more. So like, the guy's a little concerned because now, do you have one? And I was like, well, luckily for him, I have the inflatable. Charge $100, and that was it. That's a wrap.
Love it, love it. So another hack I have is using, and this is something, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just like, to me, like it's just so common sense, but you'll be surprised if people don't do this. Reach out to your old clients.
No, absolutely.
Just reach out.
Absolutely.
Just be like, hey, like I here again, thanks for hiring us back then. Let us know if you have any events coming up, because like you'll be surprised how many leads you can get and how much business that can be. Not to mention, every single time, right? If you're using LumaBooth or any other software that's iPad based or DSLR based, if there's a software where you're putting your phone number in and email in to get the photos, you have, at most softwares, you have access to that information. Dude, imagine how many emails you guys have sitting in your accounts that you could literally just put in one email. Just add everyone saying, hey, thanks for using our photo booth in the past. If you guys have a rental need, let us know. We'll give you a discount if you book by the end of the week. That to me is like crazy. It's like you have to, I don't know. Once I shift my mind, like, and I'm started looking at people that were leads or potential leads as just not like, not just like a person, but like I look at them and like, they have my money. The money that we're going to make in my business, it's sitting there. I just need to make that connection. So to me, it's also a mind shift change too. That could be considered a hack, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess another one also, now that you said, like you said, majority of the softwares out there have where they collect the data, they collect the phone numbers and the emails and stuff like that, is send out like through email, I guess it would work better, holiday cards, like some type of virtual holiday card, little things like that, like, sending out like little holiday, hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, especially now, look, guys, the holidays are coming up. So if you guys are photo booth owners out there, definitely do it. Make some virtual holiday cards on Canva or wherever you guys would want to make them on, and send them out to your clients. Hey, Merry Christmas. If you book us within this week, if you book us for an event from now for the next 5 months, or you'll get a 45% off discount or something like that.
Yeah. Happy holidays. If you or anyone throwing a New Year's Eve party, hit us up.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, along those lines,
Love it, love it. So
to piggyback off the idea, if you do have access with I use LumaBooth, so I do have access to the phone numbers. You could actually check which phone number is being used the most, and the person that's using the photo booth the most is probably the one that enjoyed it the most. So that's probably the first one you got.
Wow. Yo, Hans,
I learned that from I never would have thought about that.
Wow, Hans.
So like just pay attention to who's using the photo booth the most, because I noticed that some older lady, she was super kind, and she put in her phone number like a million times, dude. Like it was ridiculous. I was like, yo, like I gotta hit up this lady, dude. Like she didn't hire me, but like I gotta hit her up. And we've been in
Let's
talks
be
right now,
let's be
but
honest, Hans. You hit her up for what?
Listen, I'm starting to get a little concerned here, Hans. You're trapped in Drew's basement. We're forcing you to do the podcast, and now you're trying to get chicks at
Look,
events, man. Come
let,
on.
let me go down. Let me go downstairs really quick, Hans. We gotta talk a little something. Hold on. But my bad, man. Continue, man. I'm sorry, I couldn't. So you hit her up, and what happened?
Oh no. We're in talks right now. She's got a couple events coming up. This family did have money, so I mean, it was just that's that. Pay attention to who's using them at the most. You know, if you have access to the phone number, pay attention to who's putting in their phone number the most. Because
That's great.
at least for LumaBooth, for every photo that they send, they shows out their phone number, so you can just look up which one was used the most, and then be like, "Yo, that's my target right now." If you don't want to hit
I
all
learned something
150
new
phone
today.
numbers right there,
Mm.
if you don't want to hit up all 150 phone numbers, then just hit up those three that inputted their phone number like 10 times.
That's so smart. That's
I
so
learned
smart.
something new today. That's
So
good. Kudos to you, Hans.
before we go on, before we hit the commercial break, let's talk about some setup hacks. I'll start off. I think a really big huge hack is using the red carpet to cover up the cable for the extension cord.
Yep.
Save money on gaff tape. It's gonna look better, and most importantly, my favorite is time. The time that it takes to tape down the cable, it's not much, maybe 4 minutes, right? If you're doing it right and you want it to look nice. But with the red carpet, we just put a few pieces of tape across, and it saves us about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yep. Another good way too, if you can't afford, because a lot of people, might be on a budget when they're first starting off their business, is buy a table, or I would say buy a table, because obviously the venues, most of them offer you a table, but it's best to buy your own table anyway, so you have it. Get a 6-foot table. They're no more than maybe 15 to 30 bucks at Walmart, and where I'm from. Buy on Amazon one of those skirts, those tight table skirts. Drew, you have one? That one right there. What Drew is pointing at right there, guys. Buy one of those with a table. Put your prop table closer to your photo booth on the side, and you could tuck all the wires under that. And on top of that, another good thing is that if you bring like a little small box of your props or something like that, you could put that under there too. I always put my prop box under all the wires. I put everything under there, and it's hassle free. I don't gotta go back to my car and then come back and then bring the box back and forth. Everything goes under the table. It stretches down, and no one sees it because it's a stretchy thing. It doesn't fly with the wind or anything. It's skin tight. So that's a great hack too. If you can't afford a red carpets are pretty cheap on Amazon, but if you're on a budget, you just started, get one of those tables and put everything under there.
So I love it. So a segue here, using a table too. Sometimes if it's outdoors, we'll put the prop table kind of on the side, not on the side, but like on the corner of the backdrop. So just in case if it were to go forward, the table would kind of stop it. Mm-hmm. Also, we'll use the table sometimes to block off one side of where the people can come through. So we use the table to kind of help direct traffic too. If that makes any sense. So you always got to be creative and like fly, like on the spot, like to do that. But I love that, man. That's a huge hack too. The putting your stuff under the table to save you that time to.
Yeah,
to
I have little. So the box that I got my props from Amazon, I still have that box. I'm looking to buy like a little tote bin, but I have the box. It's a pretty hefty box, so I'm like, you know what? I keep my props in there. I'll throw some wires in there, like some extra wires and stuff like that, and then I just close it up and I'll put it under the table with the stretchy curtain, skin tight tablecloth, and that's it. Boom. I don't got to run back to my car and then go back and forth after the event's over to take everything down. It's just that's a great hack. Just put it under the table.
Yep.
No one's gonna buy.
Another hack that I use, that includes hiding cables, is I use something like this. For whoever's watching, it's like a box that you put your cables in there, and then what I do is just tape right here and make a hole. The reason I tape it right here is when you're making a hole, it could break. But I got this on Amazon. It's like $12. So you'll make a hole right here to put in your cable through inside here, and you put your cables inside here, and then you could flush it up against the booth, and then just hide your cables, and then you just put on your lid,
So cool. Yeah, I saw that that's the one that people posted in our group chat, right?
Probably.
I think I
Yeah,
saw
I
someone
think
do that
that
on
might.
Amazon.
It looks a lot cleaner than just having your cables like run into your booth and you could see the cables. So
Mhm.
I mean, that's what I
Like,
use.
so I guess if you guys like it, we'll post it in the description below.
Probably not. I'm just kidding.
Probably not. Probably not.
If I remember, my memory is terrible. But another hack, you guys, it's when you show up to your event, it's not to pull your equipment out before you know exactly where you're setting up.
Mm.
There's sometimes where in the past where when we get there, we unload and then we try to search for the location. Sometimes venues have multiple halls, or if it's at a hotel, you don't know exactly where it's at. So I personally like to reach out to the client or whoever's there to show us where to set up, physically park, walk up to where we're going, then going back to the car. In that process, I also, another hack, you guys, it's to get paid before your event. It's not really a hack. It's more or less something that's going to, I guess you could say it's a hack. It's to always collect payment beforehand, because if you don't, you're going to also, struggle on getting your payment collected. That's just common sense, but I just threw it in there because it's part of the process of, finding out where you're setting up first. Do you guys have any other setups before we go to break? Any other hacks here? Things that have saved you time, maybe saved you some money?
No, I think that's about it as far as I can think of right now. There's definitely a ton of more stuff, and we'll probably talk about it later on in other podcasts. But I think that's it right now that I have in mind.
Yeah. What about you, Hans?
Anything
Uh,
you want?
and more are like tips, but like hack wise, we're like it's like, oh, I didn't think of that, or that does make life easier. Nah, tips. We can talk
Something will
about
come to
tips
my mind after the
all the
podcast
time.
is over, and I'll be like, "Oh man, I forgot to mention this." But
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll mention something.
So
Mhm.
I have a few more. Back to the leads, like putting a QR code on your photo booth somewhere is a hack to get more leads, because business cards aren't always like the best, because sometimes they'll be interested, they'll grab a card, but then guess what? 2 seconds later, their homie's like in the back, let's take a shot. And they're like, oh, they forget about the card. Having a QR code, right? For example, this QR code right here, excuse the messy office. This is for one of our photo booths that we do the drop off, the pickup with. It's a scan me QR code. So if you scan that, it takes you to our website, and it literally is get a free quote, but they have to give me their information. Then the next day we have like 4 leads. And this thing has been super, super crucial. So if you guys have the DigiBooth, you can literally just peel off the sticker. You can make your own. To me, that's helped us a lot. I like to be in control of my leads. I would never suggest being like, here, go to my website or give us a call, because people, life happens and they forget. So I like being able to be in control. And then
Now is this something you're gonna start selling on the Photo Booth 101 website? Decals, like custom decals that people ask for, or
we already do.
oh, you do?
Well,
Oh, I gotta I
you
gotta
can
hit you up
order.
because
Yeah, you can order a custom DigiBooth. But as far as just if you already have a booth,
okay.
we're gonna sell the decals. We're gonna sell it in a
Okay.
2-pack.
Yeah,
So
okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I was actually thinking about removing my Photo Booth one and putting TKR Events, my
oh,
logo, and
bro,
then
do it.
with like a QR code, because I like, I love how you made it. Like, I love how it says Photo Booth. I just wanted to look like, okay, like it's my brand now. Like, I did what I had to do. I marketed myself. I'm building my brand, and now it's like, okay, instead of just having Photo Booth, I want the TKR logo with the QR code.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Awesome.
So before we go to break, a couple more hacks here I have. Get a door stopper. People are always like, why you always talk about door stoppers? Because sometimes if you're alone and you're hauling a wagon with your photo booth, sometimes venue doors are a pain. It's really hard to get your equipment in. So if you have a little door stopper, open the door, put it there. And this has happened to us once, where there was a door that we got opened, and I left my photo booth outside, pulled my wagon in, the door closed, and I couldn't get it open. I couldn't get the door open. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's like a lock mechanism. I think if I remember anything, it was like a keypad, like an employee opened it because I was knocking, and then it opened. And then once I got through, the door closed. So I had to call someone over. I was freaking out. I had like little like panic attack. I'm like, oh, my photo booth's outside. And then, yeah, I think those are just some small hacks. So we're going to go on break really quick. Sponsor of this video is Photo Booth 101. Also, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy this commercial. Literally took us about 5-6 hours to make. So enjoy it. Photo Booth 101. Thank you.
Photo Booth 101. We sell photo booths.
Thank you guys for watching that. Thank you, Photo Booth 101, for the sponsorship. So now
It was awesome. It took you 6 hours to make that? Wow.
Yeah, that was 6 hours to film it, and then editing was about a day and a half.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, so now we are in the new segment here where we're responding to one comment on the last video, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this up here. So we have at Dessert Scene Rentals, such a great and useful podcast. I had watched all of them, and they have been an inspiration for me and my team out here in Coachella, CA, which is California. On Halloween, we had our first event, and it was an amazing success. A few leads and got a lot of compliments from the event. We are still working on our infrastructure and our booking events for December. No way I would be this far without your advice, Drew, Tyler, and Hans. I'm a little nervous because we just booked a 500-person event. So if you could make some type of large event tip video, it would be so. I would be so grateful. Keep up the awesome content. So thank you so much, first of all, for writing a comment. Yeah, so let's talk about it here, guys. We won't make a dedicated video, but we can basically, end the podcast after we talk about these subjects. Tyler, I know you've done a pretty big event. You have any advice for that comment?
Yeah, so I've actually done events with over 2,500 people. 2,500 people. It was a church event. I've done 2 already with at least over 2,000 people. I did another event in the summer. It was a food truck festival event where it was in a softball field, and I want to say there had to be over 5,000 people there, and tons of them came to use the photo booth. I can't say everybody went and used it, but definitely a handful of them came and used it. Definitely over 500 people. I would say just, be patient. It's a lot of patience because people are going to be coming in and out, throwing the props on the table. It's a lot of fixing your props, especially if you're staying there. I would say if you're just starting off, the person in the comment just said they're just starting off. I personally would stay at an event like that big, because you never know what could happen to your photo booth, your backdrop, anything. Just like I said, people could get reckless. So, I would say have a team. Maybe that's something that you could charge a lot of money for, because, not only are you charging for, your services and stuff, but you should also be asking your client, and the question is how many people are going to be at the event. That I think that's a huge question. I ask that a lot, like how many people are going to be at your event, and then I charge off of that, because that means how many more people are going to be using your photo booth. So I would say just, if you can, charge a decent amount, and maybe hire somebody to come and help you, or if you have a partner, have them come and help you, because you're definitely going to need a second hand, I think. That's what I do. Have a bunch of props ready to go, swap them out as people are coming and going, so people can always have new props to grab. There's a bunch of more stuff I could talk about. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think really quick, and I love that we're talking about hacks earlier. So this could be another hack to make more money when you're doing a large event. It's, if there's, to me, over 300 people, you could then approach the client and say, I would actually recommend having 2 booths. That way we don't have an issue of the line. If you have 1,000 plus people at an event, right, or even 500, if everyone's trying to use the booth, that can be a fire hazard. That line can go into the dance floor. It just becomes an issue. So having 2 photo booths, you can cater and not only manage the line better, but having 2 booths will allow everyone to use it. So if you're at a place with 2,000 people or 1,000 people or even 500, right, with one photo booth, not everyone may get the chance to use it, because as photo booth owners, right, and Hans, Tyler, I'm sure you guys can say this, there's some times where people will even with the full line, they'll use the booth but do like 5 sessions before leaving.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll go in there and they'll run the photo booth like 5 times, to the point where you don't want to be disrespectful and say, okay, like you got, there's people waiting in line, but you kind of got to push them out. Like, and that's why another thing is I leave I think it's called duration. Is it called duration? I leave the duration at like 5 seconds, like, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some people say, oh my God, like I have to keep on switching poses so fast. And some people in their second photo will mess up because they don't know that it's already ticking to the next picture. Yeah. So I leave my, like, I think it's called I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but
just the time.
Just the time. Yeah. I put the timer like 5 seconds, and that's doable anyways. I know some people put it for like 3 seconds. I'm like, yeah, that's too much. Some people want to go grab and change props and stuff like that. So like that mid picture is all messed up. So, I try to do that. So they're like, okay, like, let's go back. We'll come back again, and they'll get back in line.
I think now, man, honestly, especially with the drop-offs, man, I think we may need to start asking clients, do you want it private or public? We used to
Like
do,
they do the middle finger a lot too. They stick the
oh,
finger up.
bro, like this does not make you cool in a photo, man.
Yeah, I
That
know. They'd be like,
happens
and I'm
every
like, damn, I
event,
can't.
dude.
Now I can't use this picture as marketing. As a matter of fact, I posted something on my Instagram. I didn't see the picture, but it was like a group of girls, and the one girl's like this, and I'm like, I gotta take that picture down now.
Oh my God, I had a good idea. Let's start a trend where you Photoshop something over their hand, whether it's like a Mickey mitt or
I've done
something.
that before.
Have you really?
I just put my logo over it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'll show you the picture after this. I'll just put my logo over it.
That's smart. Yeah, that's look. See, guys, this is a hack. This is definitely a hack video. That's another hack. If someone decided to ruin your picture that you want to post on social media really bad, put your logo in front of it, put a Mickey Mouse hand, put a smiley face, put something in front of it. Because at the end of the day, guys, we're all professionals here, and a lot of clients do not want to see your past clients sticking up the finger or throwing up their chi-chis, because
Yeah.
that's not professional. They just want to see people having a good time. I do see people come and bring their alcohol with them, which is fine. You want to bring your drink. I try to tell people not to keep their drinks by the photo booth, but some people come like real quick. They'll walk by and their family members take a picture, so they'll just run in with their drink and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that's whatever. As long as you're not sitting here splashing the drinks all over, like Stone Cold Steve Austin all over the place.
Yep. So yeah, no,
Okay,
honestly too. So
wait, hold up. I wanted to go back to the comment that she was asking, like
that's what I'm
dealing
saying.
with-
Yeah.
yeah. One thing that I had to learn as I was going in the photo booth is dealing with people, and especially with kids. I know that I don't know if she's dealt with kids before, but saying that she's gonna do a 500-person event, I'm sure there's gonna be a couple people that didn't get a babysitter and are gonna bring their kids.
Oh, definitely.
So, I've seen this a lot where like, how do you deal with kids? How do you like let it at the very beginning of the event, let them know like, hey, if you're not here with an adult, you can't take a picture. And then just let if the parent comes, just explain it to them nicely. We said this in the other podcast before. Don't scold them. Don't be mean to the kid. But let them know nicely, like, hey, like, do you need an adult? Because if you're able to control the kids, that's a huge plus already. Because I feel like kids can do a lot of chaos on photo booths. They drop your props, they take them with them. So just make sure that you control that right away, so it doesn't become an issue like midway.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, go ahead, Drew.
No, I was gonna say another piece of advice too, right? For large events. Something I don't think we talked about, it's the chances of the signal that you're on, whether it's the router at the venue or your hotspot. The more people there, the more of a chance that signal is going to be weak. So again, that's why if you're going to do a big event, if your iPad has cellular, I would highly recommend getting a hotspot device, and then also making sure you have the venue's Wi-Fi internet, having more options. It happens if you're using cellular, right, on your iPad, and you have 1,000 people at a party, everyone being there, the signal will weaken. I'm not sure if that's exactly what will happen, right? I'm pretty sure that's the thing, right? The more people,
It's congestion. It's congestion.
So there you go. That was the word I was looking for. So again, if you're going to be at one of these events and there are going to be a lot of people, make sure you again, have that in your contract. If you're ordering the contracts that we have on our website to buy, there's a section that states that if the signal gets dropped, everyone can still use the photo booth, but the photos don't get sent out until we get back to the booth. Then again, I would verbally tell the customer before your event, right? So I don't know if you said how far in this comment. Let me pull up the comment here. Okay, so yeah, the event is in December, so you have time. So make sure they know, make sure not just in writing, but you verbally say it, or you have it in text message too, because you don't want them, to be upset that the photos get sent out. And if you're just relying on your contract, some people are going to be like, well, no one ever really reads them. But if you can say, also, I also text you this too, then you back yourself up 2 times. That's just my advice. Also, if it's a big event with like 500 plus people, I can assume the venue has to be pretty big. Another piece of advice is for big venues, or just in general, it's to get the parking information, the whole parking situation under your belt. Like basically what I'm saying is like know where to load ask like, where can we load? Where can we park? Because if it's a big venue, you have a lot of people in there. The last thing you want to do is come from the back entrance and then have to travel through the whole venue where all you could have done is just parked right here and then loaded in. So that's just some advice that I have.
Yeah, exactly. And on behalf of myself, Drew, and Hans, good luck on your event. We know you're going to do good. Thank you for being a supporter. That's definitely number one. We appreciate all you guys who watch and tune into this podcast, whether you're listening to Apple, Spotify, wherever you're hearing this from. We love you guys. And yeah, so enjoy your event, man, and definitely pass out business cards, network, because 500 people, you're definitely going to get something else out of that. Definitely. Yep. Someone else there is getting married, sweet 16, birthday, bar mitzvah, quinceañera, you name it. There's got to be something there. And definitely reach out to the venue themselves. Tell the venue, hey, listen, I could be a preferred vendor if you would like. Give them a business card. There's so much networking opportunity there. That's another great advice. When you're at an event with over 500 people, that is marketing city right there. So do it.
You guys remember the mindset shift too. Another hack is your mindset. So if there's 500 people at your event, let's just say maybe 100 of those people there are people that aren't going to be potential customers, right? They're kids, they're too young, but 400 of those people potentially would rent your photo booth. And if you think of those 400 people that are potential clients, if you think in your head that every single person there potentially has $500 worth of your money for an event, then you're going to start making different changes. You're going to bring enough business cards. You're going to be prepared for that. So Tyler, that is probably the biggest W we've had on the podcast before is you're thinking bigger. You're thinking, getting more leads. So, again, guys, that's going to be the end of the segment where, we talk about the comment. If you guys have a comment and something you want us to talk about on the next podcast, let us know in the comments. And before we sign off here, Hans, can you hold up your drink so we can try to guess what you're drinking?
I thought it was empty already.
Can we get, okay.
All right. So
I had a refill during the commercial break.
That's a Long Island iced tea.
No, that's way too strong. No.
How about this? So Tyler, each of us can get one guess. No, we each get one question for us to like figure it out, like a guess.
All right, let's try this again. All right, Hans. It's dark. Is there Hennessy in it?
No.
Is there soda in it?
Yes.
Can I get one more question?
Sure.
Is there Jack Daniels in it?
Oh, you already got it. Yeah.
Yes!
Jack and Coke. Jack and Coke.
Love it. Is
Jack
it regular Coke or Diet Coke?
Oh, Diet Coke.
Regular.
Yeah, no, not Diet Coke. That must be some like flat freaking drink.
All right, so I guess that'll wrap it up. Hans, where can people find where can they reach out to you, man?
Best Photo Booths LA, guys. Just give us a follow. If you guys have any questions, just DM me.
In the description.
Yes, sir. TKR_events on Instagram. You can follow me there, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the team here. Photo Booth 101 Podcast University. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And we will see you on the next one. Woo!
Take care.